Hey guys, I'm Andrew, and if you don't know, I'm the owner of ModelRailroadBenchmark.com. Today is kind of special. This is going to be a detailed video on my 100th layout. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start over here. So this layout is actually 25 by 55. It is powered by an NCE DCC system. It does have the radio cab system on it as well, which is up here. We do have it just loosely placed at the moment. He doesn't know where he's going to finalize it. This layout is mostly 2 layers. It's all Atlas Code 83 track with Pico switches. Most of the switches are actually hand of God controlled, so there's no switch machines. However, there are a few switch machines. Going behind the cameraman here, thank you, Josh, by the way. I'll introduce Josh here in a minute. This is the control panel we have for the limited number of switches we do have on the layout. This is actually called touch toggles. Again, you just touch and you can hear all of the switch machines automatically switching. And then switching back is just as easy. Touch toggle is actually a system that I found I really like because of the simplicity, which sounds kind of counterintuitive considering you see all of these wires. But basically you have a control wire and then the 2 wires that run to the switch machine. That's it. So it makes for a nice, easy, simple install. And the beauty of it is I actually have 3 of these control panels on the layout. I've got one here, I've got one down there, and I've got one that's over that way about 15 feet. So no matter where you are, you can control all of these switches anywhere from those 3 positions. Try doing that with the old style systems. So moving on, we've got 2 tracks here coming out of the staging yard over there. These are going up a 1.8% grade. I did go ahead and modify the track plan a little bit when I was building it, and I put a little bit of a wave into this ramp here. And I did that purposely so he could actually put scenery in here if he wanted to. I noticed that there was plenty of room for it, cleared it from the client, and went ahead and did that. Over here, I also wanted to point out a few things. For example, here on our bus wires, our bus wires are 14 gauge stranded, and then our feeder wires going up to the track, those are 20 gauge solid. I'm using Greek Mars connectors here to connect the bus to the feeders, but in most places, I'm actually using a different product. We come in here. So these are called Posy Tabs. Now the beauty of these things is they actually just spin onto the wire. So you've got your gray in here that actually acts like a little U and grabs the wire. And then this black part here actually has a little needle point that when you thread it in, it'll actually spike through the wire. And then the top here just spins on and clamps your wires together. And I'll flash a couple pictures of one of these taken apart so you can see what's going on. But these things saved us quite literally about 3 days in assembly. But I can actually take credit for finding them. There's another layout builder by the name of Peter. I'll go ahead and link his channel down below. He made a video on these a couple of years ago, and it's kind of his best kept secret. But I am so glad that I saw that video 6 months ago and was able to try these out because they work really, really well on this layout. So moving along, we actually have 2 turntables on this layout. These are both Walthers 130s. So we have both the old style, which is this one, and then we have the newer style over on the far end of the layout, which we'll get to here in a minute. But, coming back to the track plan, we're following this along. You'll notice in a lot of places it looks like a dual track main line, but it's actually a single track main line layout with lots of sidings. So this particular modeler is a Southern Pacific fan. He's going to have a lot of train stations. He's going to be running a lot of passenger equipment, so we wanted to run larger radiuses where we could. So down here is another one of the switch panels. And then we have our tortoise switch machines And we actually are using snaps, so they're quick connects on the switch machines. And the beauty of these is if these happen to be connected the wrong way, you just pull it off, flip it around, put it back on, and it will automatically fix it to the correct position for you. Again, we're just going to flip it back around. So it's just a blade connector. So, and the beauty of this is it keeps you from soldering on your switch machines. It allows for easy wire connections. Allows for easy changes like I just showed you. So again, we kept the grades as soft as we possibly could, but as you can see over here in the center of the layout, we actually have a pretty significant loop. And this one is more around 2 to 2.2%. We are talking about softening that grade. We haven't decided yet, but it's a single track out and back that comes along and both enters and exits over here. So we've got the yard on this side. Now keep in mind that this side and this side are actually going to be separated by a backdrop divider. It's just not installed yet. So we've got our engine tracks here for our helpers to get through the grade. We've also got the same thing going on this side as well. So again, see the divider down here. Now down below, this is long-term staging. And by long-term staging, this is only almost 20 feet long on the longest track. And this is just for the trains that are going to sit here and get used every once in a while. So this is something where, if he wants a special train to show his friends or something like that, he can park a train there and operate it, once every couple months or whatever maybe. But still leave it on the track so it's accessible. Down here, this is another thing that I actually added to the layout, and it's something I suggest that everybody add to their layout. These are just re-railers, so I've got 3 of them here in a line, just so he can use this as a road if he wants to. But the idea here is it makes it easier to put trains on and off the track, and also if you have a piece of dragging equipment, this will push it back onto the rails. It's cheap insurance, and realistically, if you have a layout of this size especially, I mean, keep in mind it's 25 by 55. That's larger than my house, actually. It's a whole lot of railroad. You want to keep your trains on the track as much as you can because it tends to get expensive. Down here, so coming from the long-term staging behind Josh here, and then coming over this way, I've got a Y, and then I do have one automated switch machine over here in the back corner. Again, that's the one he couldn't get to. So again, I'm using touch toggles this time with a cup. And again, this system is nice and simple because you just touch and it works. And it gives you a color indication of which way the switch is going. They do actually sell these in a couple different flavors. They have a green, they have a red, they have a green red, and then obviously the green red, the color changes. So down here, I've got my second turntable. This is the newer version of the Walthers 130, and down below here, I've got their NCE auto reversing circuit wired into it, so when the train runs onto the turntable, it will automatically switch the polarity of the track on the turntable for the engine when it goes back onto the mainline tracks. And then that's basically the gist of all the major stuff. It is worth pointing out the Cork here. You'll notice that it's in grids. This is actually something I picked up on Amazon. It was pretty affordable, so I picked them up in 8-packs for I think it was $10 or $12 a piece. So not terribly expensive. It actually ended up being cheaper than buying the Midwest Cork products, which is what I use for the majority of it. Midwest is the darker color. They're the ones that typically sell the HO head scale oak gauge Cork. Josh, is there anything you wanted to bring up or point out? Well, all right, so the one thing I did want to point out is Josh was very instrumental in helping make this layout happen. Start to finish, we built this layout in 4 months, exactly to the day. 3 months?
We built another one in the middle.
Oh, that's right, we did. Sorry, we're not bragging, I just genuinely forgot. So we started this layout at the end of July. It's now mid-November. We just finished installing it today. And we did build a 12 by 24 foot O-gauge layout after we built this one. And then we delivered both of them to Las Vegas. So layout 100 and 101 are both in Las Vegas. It's a pretty interesting story, but it was a great opportunity for everybody. Everybody saved a little bit of money on shipping, and I got to build 2 layouts, so it was great. Anyway, if you have any questions about this layout, the track plan, or anything else you've seen on this video, feel free to ask below or send me an email. I'm happy to help in any way I can. And if you have a layout project that is this size or 4 foot by 8 foot, doesn't really matter. Go ahead and send us an email and we'll talk to you. We'll see if we can help you out. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.